Yo, what's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here on a Friday, March 31st, 2023, trying to cook up this NBA per usual, man. If you're looking for more of this great content, y'all know what to do. Smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, and drop y'all like down in the comments. As you know, I love going through, seeing who y'all like, man. My best bets can be found over at Pickdawgz Premium. Just click that link in the description. It will take you right to my handicapper page. That's where you can find my long-term packages, 3-day, 7-day, 30-day, monthly, yearly, seasonal. Hop on a 3-day. Try me out for the weekend, man. You get all my plays for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm in the middle of a really great week this week. Overall, all sports, man. We're going to try to keep that momentum rolling forward into the weekend, man. You can also find my top play of the day in that link in the description. It was in the MLB yesterday. My $19 MLB play of the day did cash out with the Rangers. What a comeback win that was. I was at the game. Sheesh. That was a great game, man. I'm excited. Baseball season is back. I also hit my top play in the NBA yesterday. My $25 NBA Jam Session play. Boston Celtics took the Milwaukee Bucks behind the shed. Love to see that, man. We're going to try to keep all that momentum rolling forward into tonight and this weekend. My top play today is 19 bucks, and it is in the NBA. So you can scoop it up, man. We've had a really great week this week in the NBA. I think we've hit either 4 of our last 5 or 5 of our last 6 on that jam session play. We've been cashing out this week, man. Try to keep the momentum rolling forward. Follow me on Twitter at ParlayGuyJ, and check out my live show that I'm live on right here on the Pick Dawgz YouTube channel every day, 3 Central, 4 Eastern. I bring on a guest. We run through the card one more time on a day like this with 13 games. Yeah, I know today's going to be a great show. I'm not sure my guest is currently, but I'll have somebody. We're going to cook it up per usual, man. We also update y'all on late injury news and information that came out of the association throughout the day, and we drop a parlay at the end of that show. We did hit the one on Wednesday. There was no live show yesterday. There was only 2 games, and I was at the Ranger game, so there was no live show. But on Wednesday, me, James, and Brad did cash out on that 3-leg parlay. It was like plus 450 or something like that. So come spend some time with your guy later on today, as I will be live. Same time, 3 Central, 4 Eastern. We're going to cook it up per usual, man. Huge card, 13 games. A lot of work for me to do, man. But y'all know I love doing this shit, man. We're trying to make some money on a Friday. Keep this momentum rolling forward in the middle of a really great week. Let's try to do just that, man. Keep all this rolling forward. Let's make some money tonight. And without further ado, let's hop right into tonight's NBA action. In our first matchup of the night, man, we got the Chicago Bulls out on the road facing the Charlotte Hornets. Chicago laying 9, total 224. I do lean Chicago. I don't love it, but I do lean in their direction, as they should bounce back and get themselves a nice win here. Have the Hornets been playing good basketball recently? Yes, they have. They won 4 of their last 5. They haven't been playing great, but their injury report is what scares me away from even looking in their direction in this one, as I am seeing Dennis Smith Jr. game time decision, Kelly Oubre game time decision, Gordon Hayward game time decision, Terry Rozier will not play. You know, the Bulls also have much more to play for. We've already seen the Bulls beat up on this Hornets team twice this season. 114-98 was the score in the last game. That game was in Chicago. The Hornets won the only game in Charlotte this season, 111-96 on the 26th of January. And the Bulls won the first meeting on the 2nd of November, 106-88. So the Bulls, in both games they won, they both were in Chicago, but they won both pretty convincingly. I would not be surprised if this one went almost the exact same way with all the injuries to this Charlotte team. Charlotte, also one of the worst home cover teams in the entire NBA. This game means more to Chicago, as Chicago is still fighting for playoff seeding over in the Eastern Conference, currently sitting in the 10th spot. Can still climb up a little bit, could still possibly fall out. I think this game just means more to the Bulls. I'll lean their direction, laying the 9. Too many injuries to try to grab the Hornets, man. Too many injuries. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Oklahoma City Thunder Buddies, the Cover Buddies, the best ATS team in the league, our favorite money-making team. They're out on the road facing the Indiana Pacers, man. Thunder laying 2.5, total 235.5. Interesting game we got here, man. The Thunder Buddies will be without Shai Alexander for their 2nd straight game, man. The Thunder Buddies have not been kind to us without him either. They lost outright to the Charlotte Hornets by 3. They did beat the Pistons in their last one, but failed to cover. They beat up on this Pacers team, the only meeting they seen them this season, by 20 points on the 18th of January, 126-106. Shea did play in that one. So, you know, in this one, the Pacers, they haven't looked good recently, man. They've been beaten by double digits in their last 4 basketball games. They're without their top 2 players, most likely. Halliburton will not play. Duarte's out. And I'm seeing Miles Turner as game time decision. I just think this game means a lot more to the Thunder, man. I lean in the direction of the Thunder. I'm not as excited about the Thunder right now as I have been like the last month or so, as they are a different team without Shea Alexander, man. They're not, you know, that same juggernaut cover team they are with him, without him, man. And do they still win this game against a depleted Pacers team, a Pacers team that's now basically in full-blown tank mode? I think so. The Oklahoma City Thunder, this game means way more to them. They're currently in the play-in, but, you know, they have small room for error. They have a small margin for error, man. If they mess around, they'll be out. My Mavs will jump them and be right back in. I do think we see concerted effort from the Thunder on the road today. This team can still hoop without their best player. They're not the same cover team without him, but they could still hoop without him, and I still think they have enough firepower to beat this Pacers team. So, for me, here in this one, it's a lean to the Thunder, laying the 2.5. The cover buddies, the best ATS team in the league. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Toronto Raptors out on the road facing the Philadelphia 76ers. Philly laying 6, total 224. I know I always talk about the Warriors being a really night and day team, meaning at home, they're money, man. I think they got magnets in the rim. They go stupid, dummy crazy at home. On the road, they're damn near an automatic fade, as they are just terrible out there on the road. There's another team that's very similar, not as drastic, but very similar to that Warriors team in the night and day aspect, and that team is this Toronto Raptors. At home, recently, oh, you might as well take them, brother. Straight money at home. They are coming off a 3-game winning streak. All 3 were at home. All 3 they won pretty dominantly. 118-97, 114-104, 106-92. I really have loved what I've seen from the Raptors on their home floor recently. But in that same breath, this Raptors team on the road has been damn near an automatic fade, man. They have been terrible. I think they've lost like 9 of their last 10 road games. It's something very drastic like that, man. And I don't want to trust them until I see them show up against a quality team on the road. And we know the Sixers go stupid, dummy crazy on their home floor. We know that, man. I'm laying the 6 with them. Here in this one, the Sixers came back and got my Mavs in that last one and covered 116-108. I will say the rest were on that side in that game. I don't care what nobody says. That whole fourth quarter was nothing but a ref love session of the Philadelphia 76ers. But, you know, it's the NBA. That happens. We've been on the right side of a few of those this season, so we can't complain. When we're on the wrong side, I do very hardly believe that the Sixers win this game and win it pretty comfortably, though. Sixers just, you know, play really good at home. They did lose the 3 games before beating my Mavs, 116-108. All 3 were on the road. We're back at home with the Sixers in this one. We know the Sixers are money at home, as the Sixers are 23-14-1 ATS on their home floor, have covered in 62.2% of their games. The Raptors ATS this season on the road are 14-21-1. Straight up on the road, man, the Raptors are 12-24, man. And those 12 wins were early in the season. They haven't won a road game in like the last 2 months. It's kind of crazy. Give me the Sixers. I think they beat up on the Raptors as the Raptors continue to struggle on the road. The Raptors are on a long road trip, too, to close out their season. So they really need some of these. I don't think they get this one, man. I think Philly continues rolling at home. I'll lay the 6 here with them in this one. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Orlando Magic out on the road facing the Washington Wizards. Line is even, total 225. I like the Magic in this one. On the money line, I think they win this game. I think the Magic currently constructed are just the better team. Did the Wizards have a really nice win in their last one over the Boston Celtics? Yes. But I think that was more so to do with the Celtics looking ahead to that game with the Bucks, knowing it was a huge game for them, more so than anything. I don't think the Wizards figured anything out or anything like that. They're still without their top 2 guys. No Kuzma, No Bradley Beal. The Magic did win the last meeting between these two teams 10 days ago, 122-112 in Orlando. I don't think much has changed. Even though we're in Washington in this one, I think the Magic win this game as well. Magic were getting beat pretty good in their last one by the Memphis Grizzlies. Fought all the way back, though, and covered the game 113-108. They had won the 3 games before that, wins over Brooklyn, at home, New York, and this Washington team. I kind of like what I've seen from the Magic to close out the season, man. As these two teams are currently constructed, I think the Magic are the better team. Magic have been money on the road this season if you've been betting them. This line's even. We need them to get a win, not a cover in this one. But I do think they go in here and do so against a depleted Washington team. Give me the Magic on the money line here in this one. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Utah Jazz. They're out on the road facing the Boston Celtics. Celtics laying 13.5, total 231.5. I will say, I am a little nervous about this game. Celtics are on a back end of a back-to-back. Currently, this injury report is clear. Only person I see on here is Peyton Pritchard. But I would not be surprised if Tatum, Brown, Smart, Horford, Williams, somebody just sat on the back end of this back-to-back. Yes, they blew out the Bucks yesterday, so the minutes weren't as bad, but still. It's the NBA, man. And they could probably win this game with their eyes closed. What's the motivation to blow out this team tonight on the back end of a back-to-back? I do lean the direction of the Celtics, man, but I'm just giving out the warning that don't be surprised if some guys have a minutes restriction tonight or just get sat later on in the day. Be wary of this game. Celtics are on a back-to-back. I know they hammered the Bucks yesterday, but, you know, the Celtics, they're inconsistent as well. Just the game before this, they got hammered by Washington and turned around and blew out Milwaukee. So you never know what you're going to get from Boston on a nightly basis. But I will say I do lean their direction, man. They should win this game by 15 plus. The Jazz still right there in the thick of things, man, but they caught the injury bug at the exact wrong time of the season. Without all their top guys in this one, no marketing. Olynyk questionable, probably won't play. Jordan Clarkson out, Rudy Gay out, Colin Sexton out. Hard to look in the direction of the Jazz in this one, man. They did beat the Spurs in their last game, 128-117, but, you know, they got hammered by Phoenix. Sacramento beat them pretty good. Milwaukee took them behind the shed, 144-116. They lost to Portland, 127-115. The Celtics also working with revenge as the Jazz did beat them really recently on the 18th of March, 118-117 in Utah. The Celtics should have won that game. Celtics had that game, should have won that game. The Jazz came back and beat them in the end. So a quick revenge spot for the Celtics. I lean them laying the 13.5. I would not be surprised if some guys popped up on this injury report. Y'all know the drill. I'll be back later today, 3 Central, 4 Eastern. So if anything does pop up before then, we'll talk about it then. But as of right now, as I sit here, not fading the Celtics, man. I'm going to roll them, laying the 13.5 here in this one. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Atlanta Hawks out on the road facing the Brooklyn Nets. Atlanta, road favorites, laying 1, total 240.5. I think this is a 50-50 type game. I can make the argument for both teams. I'm going to continue on the trend, though. I'm going to take the home underdog. I'm going to take the Nets on the money line. Both teams in similar spots, both fighting for playoff seeding. I think these are two really similar teams, hence why I said it's a 50-50 type game. I think the line indicates that as well, Atlanta -1. This game is going to be super competitive and could go either way. I'd just rather be on the Nets, the home team, here in this one. Yes, the Nets, you know, I've only won 2 of their last 5, and those 2 wins were against Houston and a road win over the Miami Heat. They lost to Orlando, and they lost in back-to-back games at home to the Cleveland Cavaliers. We're competitive in both, though, but lost both. Atlanta, on the other hand, they're coming off a long homestand. They just played 4 of their last 5 on their home floor, man, so they found themselves out on the road in this one, and we've talked about Atlanta. Atlanta is really weird, man. They've been on this win 1, lose 1 type streak for I don't know how long. And if the trend continues, they're due for a loss today. They did win their last one against the Cleveland Cavaliers, 120-118. Lost to Memphis the game before that. Beat Indiana the game before that. Lost to Minnesota the game before that. Beat Detroit the game before that. It's kind of crazy the streak they've been on. They've been one game away from 500 for like the last 40 games or so. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of been win one, lose one. It's not perfect, but it's basically been that 50-50 type game. I think this game is going to be a good one. I'm going to watch this one tonight. Both teams still in the playoff mix, still fighting for seeding. I think the Nets pull this one off on their home floor, though. I think the Nets match up pretty well with this Hawks team. I think defensively is where the Nets had the advantage. The Hawks did beat them in the only meeting we've seen this iteration of these two teams play. This is the third meeting between these two teams, but the first two were with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, so we won't put any emphasis on that. The only meeting we seen between these two was on the 26th of February. The game was in Atlanta. The Hawks won that one 129-127, a 2-point win. I think this one's going to be super tight as well, and I would not be surprised if it went the other way this time in Brooklyn. Brooklyn winning it, Atlanta still staying on that win one, lose one type streak. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the New York Knicks out on the road facing the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cleveland at home, laying 4.5, total 221. Interesting game we got here, man. I lean Cleveland at home, but we know the Knicks are the road warriors. They play their best basketball outside of Madison Square Garden, so I would not be surprised at all if they won this game or kept it competitive. A lot of injuries in this one, man, that, you know, kind of are pause for concern. Okoro out for the Cavs. I'm seeing Dean Wade and Nito questionable. I'm seeing Jared Allen questionable. For the Knicks, no Julius Randle and a few other guys as well. It's a tough one to handicap. I think this is the best place to be, though, is the under on this game. I lean Cavs, but, you know, I can see this one being super tight. The Knicks are the best road cover team in the NBA for a reason. The Cavs are money at home, too. We know we love betting the Cavs at home as they go stupid, dummy, crazy. I just think this is a spot where the total actually jumped out to me more than anything. With Julius Randle gone, I think that these two defensive type teams just fall underneath the total. I think this total is pretty low, especially for today's NBA standards, but I think we fall just underneath. I think we're going to get a lower scoring game, kind of like the last two have been. 105-103, 92-81. You know, those are the two scores we've seen in the last two meetings between these two teams, and I would not be surprised if it was the same way. You know, the Knicks are without one of their top-tier scorers in Julius Randle, so I'm sure it's going to take them some time to get adjusted to being without him. That's some scoring gone. The Cavs, they can go nuclear, but, you know, they play at a slow pace. They're trying to, you know, just dominate you down low. I think the pace of play in this one, and with some significant injuries, I think when it's all said and done, we fall right underneath this total, man. So I rarely give totals. I really do, but I'm kind of liking this one a lot. I lean under 221 Knicks Cavs. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got two awful teams in a pretty meaningless game unless you're watching, you know, Tankathon. We got the Pistons on the road facing the Rockets. Rockets are laying 5.5. I don't know how the hell they came up with that. Total 229. I'm grabbing the points with the Pistons. It's really just a fade of the Rockets. Why the hell are the Rockets laying 5.5? No. No way in hell would I lay points with the Rockets. This line probably should have been like 2 or 3, in my opinion. If you're going to give me 5.5 in a terrible game like this, two awful teams, I'm going to grab it. Also, the Rockets, they're coming off a long road trip. Y'all know that first home game back can typically be a flat spot, man. They just played their last 5 games all out on the road. They do return home in this one. They weren't playing good out there either. They got hammered by Brooklyn by 9, hammered by New York by 22, hammered by Cleveland by 17. Memphis beat them 151-114. Memphis beat them the game before that 130-125. There's nothing I've seen from Houston that would say maybe 5.5 laying it with them today is a good place to be. It's not. I think the Pistons, maybe money line is probably even a better place to be if they're going to give me plus money in a game like this. The Pistons have a real shot of winning this game outright. At least the Pistons, we've seen them be competitive recently. You know, they just lost to the Thunder. Probably should have won that game. Jalen Williams with the game winner, 107-106. They lost by 9 to Milwaukee, I believe covered in that game. They did get hammered by Toronto and Atlanta and Miami. But You know, it's the Rockets we're talking about. I would rather definitely have the points in my back pocket in this awful type game. So Pistons plus the 5.5 for me. The Rockets did win the first meeting this season in Detroit, 117-114 on the 28th of January. But, you know, I'm not putting too much emphasis on that. I know I'm not laying 5.5 with the Rockets. It's basically all this game boils down to. No way in hell should the Rockets be laying 5.5 on anybody. Grab the points with the Pistons. They should keep this one competitive, and I would not be surprised at all if they won this one straight up. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Los Angeles Clippers out on the road facing the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis laying 6.5, total 235. We just saw this game the other night with the Clips coming into Memphis and winning that game straight up, which was really surprising to me. As we know, the Grizzlies go stupid, dummy, crazy at home, man, as the Grizzlies are the best home team in the NBA at 33-6 this season at home. They've won 84.6% of their games there. So that really caught me by surprise. We saw a vintage Russell Westbrook game in that one, and they went in there and beat the Grizzlies. Tonight, I think the Grizzlies returned the favor. The Clips did win both meetings versus this Grizzlies team this season. The first one, 135-129, earlier this month on the 5th of March in Los Angeles, and the one we just talked about the other night, 141-132 in Memphis. I do think Memphis probably repays a favor in this one. I lean them laying the 6.5. Still no Paul George for the Clips tonight. I'm also seeing Kawhi Leonard on this injury report as questionable to play. Y'all know what's up with him, man. When you see questionable, you might as well just assume he's not playing. Could he play? Yeah. Would I think that he plays? No, I don't. I think the Grizzlies probably return the favor, man. We know the Grizzlies go stupid, dummy, crazy on their home floor, man. Straight money. They're 22-16-1 ATS at home. I see a bounce back for them as they just repay the favor to this Grizzlies team, a team that they know they're better than, and they just beat up on them. I think that's what happens here in this one, quite honestly. I don't really have nothing firm that says that or anything like that. I just firmly believe the Grizzlies just turn around and beat up on this Clippers team today. I would not be surprised if it was by 10+. So with that said, I like the Grizzlies laying the 6.5. Revenge spot, double revenge spot at home where they've gone stupid, dummy, crazy at all season. Clips kind of banged up as well. I think it all just formulates together to laying the points with the Grizzlies here in this one. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got a really good game here in this one. We got the Lake Show, the Lakers, out on the road facing the Minnesota Timberwolves, a.k.a. the House of Disappointment, man. The line is even. Total 232, man. Both teams been playing great basketball. Both teams have won 4 of their last 5. The Lakers, they beat up on Orlando at home, 111-105. Beat up on Phoenix there as well, 122-111. Beat the Thunder Buddies, 116-111. Lost to Chicago at home, 118-108. And then turn around, got their quick revenge on the Chicago Bulls in Chicago, 121-110. T-Wolves, they just lost their last game in Phoenix, 107-100. You know, beat up on the Kings out there, beat the Golden State Warriors out there, beat the Atlanta Hawks at home, beat the Knicks on the road. Minnesota been balling. This is what I'll say. Minnesota won both meetings between these two teams this season as well, 111-102 on the 28th of October. And really recently, earlier this month on the 3rd of March, 110-102 in Los Angeles. Lakers working with double revenge. Bad spot for the Timberwolves as well. Is this going to be their first home game back after a significant road trip? They just played 4 of their last 5 out on the road. They do return home in this one. You know how I feel. That first home game back typically can be a flat spot. I think the Lakers are the better team. I think the Lakers need this game a little more. Working with double revenge, I'm on the Lake Show. I think they pull this one out. LeBron back in the flow. He's had a few games under his belt. I like what I've seen from the Lakers, man. And also, did y'all see that report, bro? I didn't know it was that bad, but I kind of had a feeling just watching Lakers games. I told y'all the other day, like last week, the Lakers are getting some calls that they just don't deserve. And some of it was like Austin Reeves. I just kept seeing bro go to the free throw line. I'm like, bro, what's up with this? Then I saw the actual number come out yesterday. The Lakers have taken 411 more free throws than their opponents this season. That is crazy. That is mind-boggling. Meaning, every game they've played thus far this season, they've had more free throws than their other team. And it's to the point now in this season where we at, they're plus 411 free throws on every team they've played this season. That's kind of crazy. The second team is the Sacramento Kings, and they're at like 195. So the Lakers, if you took away half of their free throws, they would still lead the league in free throw differential. That's kind of crazy, man. I told y'all, Lakers kind of getting a whistle they don't deserve. NBA really wants these guys in the playoffs. I think they win this one tonight. On the road, working with double revenge. This is the house of disappointment, man. Have they been playing great basketball? Yes. Are they getting healthier? Yes. But I think the Lakers pull this one out. I'm going to take them on the ML. Here it is. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the San Antonio Spurs out on the road facing the Golden State Warriors, the best home cover team in the entire league. And they're laying 17.5 points on the Spurs. Oh my goodness. 17.5 is crazy. But in that same breath, I don't fade the Warriors, man, at home. They're damn near automatic. They got magnets in the rim. I lean the Warriors laying 17.5. Do I love it? No. Do I really want to bet the Warriors laying 17.5? No. You're damn near asking for it. The Spurs are still an NBA team. They could catch the back door, but in that same breath, I do understand why the line is where it's at. It's a terrible spot for the Spurs. It's going to be their 5th road game in their last 6 games, and they've been hammered by damn near everybody they play. They just lost to a depleted Utah team on their home floor by 11 points. Boston took them behind the shed, 137-93. Washington ended up beating them by 12. Milwaukee took them behind the shed, 130-94. New Orleans hammered them, 119-84. We've already seen the Warriors hammer this team twice this season, 132-95 and 144-113. The Warriors, like I said at the top, are the best home cover team in the entire league. The most night and day team I've ever seen on the road. They're damn near an automatic fade. At home, you just ride them. That's just what they do. They just win and cover at home. This line is crazy. 17.5 is crazy. I would not be surprised if the Spurs caught the backdoor loss by 15 points. We're kind of asking for laying 17.5 points. I just want y'all to know that. We're asking for it. But in that same breath, I really do think the Warriors probably win this one by 20 plus. The Spurs have not shown any sign of life recently. Like I said, it's a terrible spot for them as well. Their 5th road game in their last 6 games, going up against the best cover team in the league. I understand why the line is 17.5. I want no parts of the Spurs. I'll lean Warriors here in this one. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Sac Kings on the road facing the Portland Trail Blazers. It's already on the screen, man. We're leaning Sac, laying the huge number. In this one, they blew them out the other night, 120-80. Much hasn't changed. Nothing has changed. If anything, this Portland team has gotten worse. This is a team full of G League players, rotational players. They stuck the fork in themselves. All their main guys will not play. Sac, I have loved what I've seen from them coming out of the All-Star break. You know, I think they hammered this team for the 3rd time this season. We just talked about the one that was the other day, 120-80. In February, they blew this team out when Portland was at pretty much full strength, 133-116 on the 23rd of February. I think this one goes probably the exact same way as those other two, if not worse. Team full of G League and rotational players. I want no action. Give me the Kings, laying the 14.5 here in this one. Short, sweet, and simple. In our last and final matchup of the night, man, we got the Denver Nuggets out on the road facing the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix laying 9.5, total 227. The lean is the Suns in this one. Suns working with double revenge as the Nuggets won both meetings this season, 128-125 on Christmas Day in overtime. The Nuggets won the first one and 126-97. They hammered the Suns in the second meeting on the 11th of January in Denver. Both of the first two were in Denver. We're in Phoenix tonight. I think Phoenix probably repays a favor. Phoenix getting healthy. Phoenix has looked good in their last 3 games. Took the 76ers behind the shed at home, 125-105. Beat up on the Jazz out on the road, 117-103. Came home, beat a Minnesota team that was playing extremely great basketball coming into that one, 107-100. The Nuggets are on the back end of a back-to-back. They got hammered yesterday, honestly, by that New Orleans Pelicans team, 107-88. They had one 4 straight before then, but don't like the spot for them tonight. I'm also seeing a lot of their main guys on this injury report. Jamal Murray probably won't play tonight. Nikola Jokic probably won't play tonight. That's just the mode the Nuggets are in, trying to stay healthy for the playoffs. They already got the #1 seed locked up. No reason for them to come out here and try to do anything special on the back end of a back-to-back. I think the Suns just hammer this team in pure frustration, get right, revenge spot for the Suns. So I like the Suns here in this one, laying the double digits. They should get this one done on their home floor. Nuggets did not like what I seen from them yesterday, and without all their top guys, they probably get hammered on the road in this spot. Give me the Suns, laying the 9.5 here in our last and final matchup of the night. And that's going to conclude today's episode on the Jam Session on March 31st, 2023, man. Huge card we just went over, man. 13 games on a Friday. I'm going to be honest, man. I just liked a lot of favorites, man. So I'm probably going a little lighter premium area tonight, man. I'm going to be honest. I like a lot of favorites. And on a Friday, I feel like I'm kind of asking for it. You know what I mean? I'm just being honest with you. I really do go through every game, try to cook it up, get on the right side, man. But as I turn around and look, I like a lot of favorites on a Friday. So probably going to be a lighter day for me, man. But again, thank y'all for watching, man. Smash that like button for your guy, man. Subscribe if you're new. And drop y'all like down in the comments. As you know, I love going through, seeing who y'all like, man. My best bets, they can be found over at Pickdawgz Premium. Just click that link in the description. It takes you right to my handicapper page. There you can find my long-term packages, 3-day, 7-day, 30-day, monthly, yearly, seasonal. Hop on a 3-day. Today's a Friday. Hop on a 3-day, man. Gets you today, Saturday, and Sunday. I've been hot this week, man. I'm trying to keep it rolling. That's why I'm probably going a little lighter today. I don't want to give away all my profits from this week. It's been a really, really good week for us. Let's keep it rolling, man. You can also find my $19 NBA Jam Session play in that link in the description. My top play today is in the NBA. It will vary moving forward as MLB is back, so just be on the lookout every day if it's MLB. If it's NBA, yesterday the $19 play was MLB. We cashed that on it. I still had the NBA Jam Session play. It was 25 yesterday. Cashed that on it. The Celtics took them boys behind the shed. Love to see that, man. The $19 play today is going to be in the NBA, though, so you can scoop it up. We've hit, I want to say, 5 of our last 6 on that play, or 4 of our last 5. It's one of them, man. We've been pretty hot this week in the NBA. We want to keep all that momentum rolling forward into tonight and this weekend. Follow me on Twitter at ParlayGuyJ, and check out my live shows. I am live right here on the Pick Dawgz YouTube channel, damn near every day, 3 Central, 4 Eastern, man. Especially on a day like today, I'm excited to come back. I usually bring on a guest. We run through the card one more time, update y'all on late injury news and information that came out of the association. Drop a parlay for y'all at the end as well. So come spend some time with me later on the day. It's a live show. Not sure who my guest is currently at this current time of day, but I'll have somebody, and we're going to cook it up per usual. There was no live show yesterday, but on Wednesday, we did hit that parlay, 3-team, like plus 450 parlay. So we're going to try to go back-to-back on the live Jam Session parlay. Come spend some time with your guy later on today. Huge card, man. 13 games. We just cooked it up, man. We just cooked it up. Let's make some money. We're in the middle of a really good week. Let's try to close it out the exact same way. It's been your guy, Jay Briggs. I'll see y'all later on the day, man. Let's make some money on a Friday. I'm out of here. Peace.